is a psychotic murderer.
She's got some other injuries, Ken. Maybe it's just coincidence, but you've got some injuries too. You know where you're sitting. You know how all this stuff works.
You two back with another video. We were looking at cops find out their own colleague is the killer, and that's some crazy stuff. Let's get right into it.
It's just before midnight on August 30th, 2011, and for officers Kenneth Blue and Tim Patterson of the Buena Vista Township, New Jersey Police, the start of a very long shift. Because while patrolling a quiet road near their own department's gun ranch, something out of place catches Officer Ken's eye. A Pontiac Aztek parked on the side of the road, one door eerily hanging open. As he approaches, he finds a horrific sight. 32-year-old Jennifer Webb, who appears to have taken her own life. He calls Officer Patterson to the scene, and her driver's license, purse, and cell phone are all found nearby, as well as a typed note explaining why she allegedly did what she did. And while there's currently no reason to suspect foul play, that's all about to change. Because when an autopsy is performed, investigators learn that Jennifer didn't take her own life. She was strangled. And someone took their time to delicately rearrange the crime scene in an effort to throw cops off their trail. So with a clear-cut murder on their hands, investigators start looking into Jennifer's final hours, including digital breadcrumbs from the cell phone she left behind. And what they find not only leads to a prime suspect, but to a shocking scandal the likes of which this small-town department's never seen. Because one rather unusual name keeps popping up in Jennifer's call log, Ken Cop Boo, and when detectives trace the number, it returns as one of their own, Kenneth Blue, the very officer who found Jennifer's body. So as investigators speak with Jennifer's friends and family, they confirm what the call log hinted. Jennifer had been having an affair with the married father and cop, and not only that, she was expecting. Now, as Kenneth's brought in for questioning, this case isn't just about finding a murder suspect. It's about figuring out if a fellow officer, one sworn to uphold the law, and one they trusted with their own lives, is a stone-cold killer.
Basically, can you kind of run down, just tell me what happened tonight, what's going on here?
I was conducting general patrol. I'd been up in the area of the North Number Streets. We call it North Number Streets. It's area north of Wadsworth. Been in there a little bit patrolling around. I sat at 81 and Outer for a while, working low radar. And then there's a neighborhood to the north of 81. In north of 81, west of Outer. Well, neighborhood back in there. I went back in there and kind of drove. We're just general patrol. Come out onto Outer Drive, went north, took a pass through the businesses on Freeway Lane, and then come out and went north again up to where we have our range. As I started to pull up, I saw the vehicle sitting there. I hit it with my spotlight real quick to see if I could see heads moving or popping up. Sometimes we get parkers up there and whatnot. I didn't see anybody move, so I went up, I turned, and then I turned back or turned around. It goes, Outer Drive ends, you guys were up there. There's that little drive there that leads to our range, and then that drive over there leads over to the wastewater treatment plant. So I go up, turn around so that I can get a better angle on the car. So I drive in behind the car, focus the spotlight, and about that time, Tim's pulling up. So, I kind of looked at him, he kind of looked at me and says, "What do you think?" He says, "Oh no." So he started walking up from where he was at, because he was still on Outer Drive. He was walking up towards the passenger side of the car, and I started to walk kind of towards the driver's side corner. And as I got closer, I saw the door open, the back driver's door was open. Took a few more steps, and I saw her laying on the ground. I saw the cord running to the top of the car. Oh my gosh. I yelled at Timberlake. I said, "Hey, oh my gosh." I yelled at Timberlake. I said, "Hey, we got a body." Well, I took a step back. He come around the corner. He come around the car. He took a look. Oh shit. So away we went. We started doing our thing. Purse was laying there. So pulled the purse out to ID the driver. And as I did, when I set the purse on the hood, the first thing I see was a folded up piece of paper. Like, okay.
he's the killer, then shouldn't he know who the person was off rip? And wouldn't he need to identify the person by the ID?
There's no writing on it, no ink on it. It was just all typed. Set that aside, went through the purse, found the wallet, opened the wallet up, went through the wallet, found the ID, and at that point I went, oh shit, I know this girl. So.
I mean, shouldn't you have known her from just by like the car or how she looks? Basic things like that, like that's what giving it away. But like even like just off that, it's like yeah, so you're acting like you didn't know who the person was when you looked at her, but you had to check the ID to be like, okay, I know this person. Like that don't make no sense.
I stepped away. I looked at Kim. I said, I know this girl. I said, I know her. So I kind of just stepped back at that point and let everybody else take and do what they needed to do. Sean showed up, and the rest is history. Here we are.
Ken's story is as simple as it gets, maybe a little too simple. Because while he makes it sound like he removed himself from the scene after realizing he knew Jennifer, he'd actually already involved himself plenty. And while his fellow officers may suspect he knows more than he's letting on, it'll take far more work to break down their experienced colleague and get to the truth. Before that, if you love watching killers like him realize they aren't winning an Oscar, subscribe. It's literally all we do here.
You guys check for vitals? Was it, I mean, why not?
I don't know. I guess probably not to disturb. Well, I mean, there was no movement, and when I looked, there was, from a distance, there didn't appear to be any chest rise. It wasn't giving me the impression that it was, that she was alive. So
At that point, Sean knew that you knew.
So you know she's not alive already. That's why you didn't check her pulse. These simple little things is what's getting you caught up, brother. You feel me? Because if you see a person, if there's no gun wound to the head, if she's just sitting there, she should be passed out from exhaustion or something, and you just don't check the vitals again. Like you just assume she's dead.
Her, right?
yes, when Sean arrived, I told him that you were.
Did you know her family? Tell me about how you knew her.
I met her. From 10 years ago.
Okay.
When I first started out here, just in my normal duties, we would do bar checks, and she used to frequent the Backstreet Bar over in Holland. I got to know the waitresses and the people over there. She was in there. We got introduced. It was, we just talked. Started up a casual friendship and been touch and go ever since. We talk for a while and then we kind of do our own thing and go our separate ways. And, out of the blue, she'll call me or I'll call her. Hey, what's going on?
Was she working there, or was she just a patron?
Just a patron. Okay. She knew most of the people that worked there.
How often did you talk to her?
It varied. It could be, sometimes it was once or twice a day. Other times it was once or twice a week.
Okay. And over the last 10 years?
Oh, it was on and off. There was quite a while where we didn't talk at all. I just, she was doing her own thing and I was doing mine. And, like I said, it wasn't anything that we just, that we had to talk to each other every day or anything like that.
Was she married, with kids, anything like that?
She was not married, but she was pregnant.
Boyfriend?
Not one she spoke of.
When was the last time you talked to her?
She called, actually last night, she called me, didn't leave a message, didn't leave a message. Did she leave a message? Yeah, she did. She left she left a message to say, hey, what's up? Give me a call when you can. Something like that. And I called her back, I don't know, sometime around 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. And I didn't get an answer from her.
Did you leave her voicemail or anything?
No.
Did she call you back?
No.
What was her mood or demeanor last time you talked to her?
Not normal. Usually she was a pretty happy, jovial person. She just, I don't know, said she was tired, wasn't feeling good. But
He's going through all this when all they needed was either a plan B or an abortion. But he decided to say, you know what? Fluff this woman. She's carrying a baby that could ruin my marriage. I'm going to murder her. Bro, oh my god. Yo, oh my god. R.I.P. to the lady in this, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga right here needs to be locked up. Jeez, like he just sitting there all casual and shit. Like, nigga, you know what you did, brother, man? It's grits for you, gang. The way they sitting there looking at him, it's like, yeah, but you really didn't do the murder.
it's uncharacteristic for her. Usually when we talk, she's just, bouncing off the walls. Yeah, this is going on and that's going on and yada, yada, yada. But it's been, and it's been like that for a few months now. When she talks, just something different about her. I guess I just chalked it up to, the stress of getting broken into and being back with her parents or in her parents' house or whatever, and, being pregnant. My wife was pregnant, many years ago. She was moody too, so I guess I just kind of let it go with that.
Okay.
So, I wasn't clear. When was the last time you actually talked to her?
Yesterday. Well, it would have been the day before yesterday now, but
Today's now Wednesday.
it would have been,
During the day Tuesday?
no, would have been, I think, Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I chatted with her briefly on Monday.
She call you, you call her.
Don't remember.
If it sounds like Ken's being cagey about his relationship with Jennifer, that's because he is. Because while there's nothing wrong with friendships between men and women, the idea that this married cop has had one lasting 10 years with no one else knowing about it is strange, to say the least. And why does he seemingly struggle to...
I mean, it's really not strange, you feel me? Like, if you want to know about his business, then that's that. But, like, he's a married man, which kind of makes it like, okay, you should let your wife know about her or something, at least, You know what I'm saying? So...
remember when he last heard from her, if it was the day before yesterday, just hours before her death.
When's the last time you actually saw her in person?
It's been a while. Three weeks or so, maybe.
Okay, and what was the context there?
She was on her way back from somewhere. She was out with some of her friends, I guess, or something or other, and called to see if I was working, and I said, yeah. And she said, hey, let's see you for a minute. So we met, talked for a few minutes, and she went home.
Okay. How often did you guys see each other personally?
As far as like when I'm not working personally, or
Anytime.
in person?
Yeah, in person.
As of recently, actually maybe once, twice a month.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times a month.
What's recent? Maybe.
Within the last few months or so.
Okay. Do you notice any change in her?
No, like I said, she didn't seem the same person that I remembered her being. She seemed more stressed, tired all the time.
Ken tries his best to keep things vague, but his veiled allusions to Jennifer's allegedly frail mental state have one purpose: to convince detectives he has nothing to do with her death. And there's something else he wants them to think he knows nothing about. Something that had already complicated his life for months, and now seriously complicates his present.
What did she tell you about the pregnancy?
Not a whole lot. When I see her, usually the first question is, hey, how you feeling? How's it going? Everything good with you and the baby? That kind of stuff. It's none of my business. So I didn't want to pry into her personal life that much. So I just, whatever she volunteered to tell me is what she told me, and usually it wasn't much.
But everything seemed to be going okay with it.
As far as her health was, yeah.
What'd she tell you about the baby's daddy?
She didn't. Never said anything about it. She said I wasn't aware that she was dating anybody, but,
Is that something she would have told you?
not really. Whenever I would ask her, hey, how are things going, I pretty much got the answer. Baby's healthy and I'm doing good. And she kind of left it at that. Not typical for her. Like I said, she was usually a bubbly, outgoing person, talked all the time about anything and everything. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed different. She was just more reserved.
I'm trying to figure out what would cause her to do this. I mean, it sounds like she was a pretty happy person. Sounds like she was comfortable with pregnancy, and sounds like she was employed. You didn't notice any big changes in her, right? Any thoughts on that?
No. I mean, when I read, seemed to me that there was more there that she was letting out. At least, when she would talk to me, it just seemed like there was more that she was dealing with than what she told me.
Do you remember what she was talking about? Some of the things that she was talking about? I don't have it here from.
And couldn't they lead the baby's DNA back to his? I mean, that would kind of put it all together right there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they talked about the robberies, they talked about the pregnancy.
Not really though, because a girl, you don't know what a girl ever could be thinking. Like, oh, I got married, Cobb, baby. He probably will never want me. Oh, da, 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 da. But at the same time, there's abortions, Plan B's, all this other stuff, and why would she just kill herself?
They talked about being sorry. I mean, I can't recite it for you, but they talked about being a failure and something about lying to people.
What would she be lying about?
I don't know.
The obvious question is, did you have a relationship with her, or is this just something where you guys were just friends?
A physical relationship, no.
You mentioned.
That's where they put it together right there a little bit. A physical relationship, no. But you was busting in her when you got a wife. Seeing each other for these probably 10 years, busting in that motherfucker. Busting in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Your wife, are you currently married now?
Right.
Okay. One of my concerns is obviously we got to talk to you and Tim because it was brought up that you knew this gal.
Right.
And I've got some questions. When you come up and you see the vehicle and stuff, and there's a lot of vehicles like that, I guess. I understand that. Sounds like you knew her pretty well. I mean, well enough to recognize her.
Okay.
And it just, you hear the plate, you get the note out, you see the name on it, and then you see her ID. What were you thinking? What was going through your head?
Well, as I'm starting to hear all of this stuff, I'm going, the first thing that went through my head is, can't be. And as I'm doing that, I'm going through her bill folder or whatever it was. There's her ID, and I went, oh, shit, it is. Got a body, Tim. And, you know, he came over and took a look. Until I started going around doing all this other stuff, the pieces started falling in line. I said, you know, she's, you know, got a bunch of stickers on the back of her car. I didn't see those at the time I first pulled up on the car.
The contacts you had with her, is that the vehicle she normally drove?
Usually.
Does she have any other vehicle?
And if you didn't have a physical relationship with her, how, like, if you'd never seen her in person or nothing, how would you know the stickers and everything would belong to her? Like, how would you even know, like, that's a real car for real? You feel me? Yeah, she might say, oh, look at my car, da, 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 da. But if y'all never shared how would the actual car look like and all this and this and that, then how would you know that the stickers on the back of the car are actually hers? And, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no type of sense. So it's like you lying, eh?
I don't know.
Are you aware of any other vehicles?
When I've seen her, it's always been in that one.
It's always been in that vehicle when you've seen it, okay. You say stickers on the car, what?
And when you seen her, y'all never had a physical relationship, but you said when you seen her.
On the back, just,
Oh, my bumper stickers and
Yeah.
stuff displayed on, okay.
but like I said, I was, you know, it's like I told him, I said, when I pulled up on the car, I was looking inside for bodies. I wasn't looking at the outside of the car for decorations.
So it goes from like knowing her, like calling her every now and then, to never having a physical relationship with her, to now knowing what her car looks like and stuff. So it's like y'all had a physical relationship, but y'all know, a physical relationship don't always have to be like sexual or nothing. It can mean like, oh yeah, I know this person in real life, physical, like physical. You're not just online type shit. So it's like y'all never had a physical relationship, but you know what the car look like, this and that, stickers. Especially if they don't have no evidence of her sending you pictures of stickers on the back of her car. It's like, dang, you just putting it together from Brody.
Yeah, that just doesn't sit right with me either. And I don't mean to sound like, I'm just thinking, how would you not recognize her? It's just odd.
Suddenly, this conversation goes from simple questions to some not so subtle claims that Ken's lying his pants off. He's already admitted to knowing Jennifer for a decade after all, so claiming he didn't recognize her or her car defies belief. But he also knows being a cop comes with certain perks, like claiming ignorance because of something called cop mode, which is ironic considering the basic protocol he broke while handling the note.
Just kind of go into cop mode at that point. It's just, okay, what do I gotta do? You know, start running through your head what are the things that need to be done. I mean, once I started going around the car and, you know, pieces started to fall into, you know, place, it was like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, it can't be. It can't be. I mean, when I see her, she's got her hair done, you know, I mean, all of that, you know, I don't see her in a disheveled state, so.
And she's not in the social shit, then you should have automatically knew it was her, gang. By just to look on her face and everything, you should automatically knew this was that person. You didn't have to go through no notes, no see no ID or nothing to make sure. You feel me?
What's going on with your eye there? I'm not gonna get pink eye, am I?
No. I was wrestling. I got a pup at home that's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. I was wrestling around with her, and she got me with one of her claws.
Oh, before I forget, that note that you found,
Mm-hmm.
was that protected for prints?
As far as I may have touched it, the corner of it,
What do you mean?
when I picked it up and handed it to Sean. I don't know if I had gloves on.
No gloves, no, you know what I'm saying? You're in cop mode, but you're not really moving in cop mode, gang. Even, you know what I'm saying, your emotions coming to you and shit, you should off rip be like, okay, this shit needs to be solved, then you get your gloves, you know what I'm saying? You just moving late, you moving like a rookie.
picked it up from,
The car.
oh, you said you had it on the hood of the car?
Yeah, I'd taken it out of her purse or off the top of her purse, unfolded it and laid it on the hood of the car.
Now, when you got it, her purse out and stuff, would you have had gloves on then?
Yeah, I had gloves on then,
Okay,
but when I took it to Sean, I don't think I had gloves on.
okay. Did anybody else handle it? Did, Tim handle it at all? He touched the note?
I want to say yes, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I think you might have.
It seems that Ken's cop mode failed him, because every officer knows you don't handle evidence without gloves, especially a note which may have been typed for the sole purpose of concealing the handwriting. But if Ken's fingerprints
What did I just say, gang?
do turn up on it, he has an easy explanation. He's a cop just doing his job. And with a badge, gun, and the backing of an entire department, it seems no one thinks twice. But these detectives aren't from Ken's department, and that's about to spell serious trouble. Because as detectives take a bathroom break, and Ken tells them where to go,
There's one right around the corner to your left. Go through the door, in between the double doors.
what happens next has never before been seen in a police interrogation. Ken simply walks out the door to say hi to some coworkers who have no idea their colleague is under suspicion of murder.
Talk with these guys. Yep.
But now, as detectives return to the room, their questions become far more pointed and downright impossible for Ken to answer without giving himself away.
Just sitting here listening through all of this, I got some questions that I can't help but come to the forefront. Jennifer's baby, who was the father of that child?
I have no idea.
Is there a chance that you're the father of that child, Kim?
None.
Ah, gang, you done fucked up.
None. Never slept with her.
You've never had a relationship with her?
Especially if all this is like concealed to where your wife couldn't really know if you really had a child with her, just in case, you know what I'm saying, someone other really did murder her, they would hide that from your wife, or it'll just be, you feel me, like, you know, like, yeah, all this is like, your wife shouldn't have even known, you feel me, like, boom, you wanted an investigation, but they wouldn't have found out that was your child or nothing if someone else had murdered her, because everything is hidden in like a certain way type shit.
Is there any reason that she would have told people that you were the father of that child?
Not that I know.
She has.
Come again.
She has told people that you're the father of that child. Her family was well aware of who the father of that child was. Didn't know you personally, but was well aware of what your name was, where you worked, what you did, and everything.
Wow.
No possibility of that?
None.
I mean, that's real easy for us to determine, obviously. You know, and now's the time to get that out, if there is. I mean, stuff like that happens. We all know that. We're all big boys in this room. We all know that stuff like that happens. But yeah, that's a concern that I've got is,
I don't know why
her family knew she was expecting, obviously. Apparently due very soon,
I
3
knew she
4
was
weeks.
expecting.
Yeah, and they were was apparently no questions at all about it. They were fully aware. Ken Blue, police officer, Buena Vista Township Police Department, was the father of the child. They didn't know much about you. They never met you. But they were fully aware that you were the father of the child. By name, occupation, where you worked, and everything, Ken.
Wow. Well, that would explain why we're doing this. I'm not the father of the child. I have never known.
You might as well be like, man, I probably could be the father of that child. Who knows? You feel me? You could be like, yeah, I still work up times, I ain't gonna lie. But I just want to protect this due to my marriage and everything, so I hope this don't come out to the public or nothing. Boom, straight like that. But now you lying in court. You lying not in court, but like you lying to the investigation. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's, like I said, that's one of the big questions that comes up. Ken, if you are in this room between the three of us, we need to know that. Obviously, as this investigation goes on, we will be able to determine who the father of that child is. And you know, as well as we know, when you're doing an investigation, if somebody lies to you about some insignificant or rather insignificant issue, you gotta ask the question about why. You know, why would that happen? Why did that happen? So, it may be a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little embarrassing, or whatever, but are we gonna make that determination? Is it gonna be determined in our investigation? I mean, we will determine who the father of the child is. And when that's all said and done, is the answer that we get from our labs gonna say it's Ken Blue too?
I don't think so. I or something.
Well,
Gang, just admit it, you had sex with her, gang. What's up with you, bro?
you don't think so, or you do that? I mean, you know or you don't? I mean, there's one way that a child is conceived, that's very clear. I know that. Okay. Absolutely no way possible that you could be the father of the child.
Correct.
Ken, it's also our information that this morning there was quite a period of time that nobody could get a hold of you, or last night rather. They couldn't get you on the radio. Different ways through the MDT and through different ways they couldn't get a hold of you. Couldn't get any response.
About 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, we talked like I thought it was a little bit longer than that, but we don't have the records on that yet. But there was apparently some period of time nobody could get a hold of you. Another thing, Ken, I guess that I'm really having an issue with, and I can't understand how you could have driven down there, you could have seen this vehicle of a girl that you've known for about 10 years, that the only time you've ever met her, that's the vehicle she's been in, that she's been driving. You end up parking, you get out on foot, and you see her laying there. You see her, you describe to us well enough to know that she's already deceased. There's no reason to do any life-saving measures, because you can tell her, I think in your words, her lips were purple, or no rise and fall in her chest, or whatever. But yet you still don't know who she is. That doesn't make sense to me.
You're talking about a matter of minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, from what you've described in your context with her, I guess I would have thought when you drove down Outer Drive and you saw there's Jennifer's vehicle. I would have think in the headlights you'd have noticed that when you were back a ways.
I mean, that's a common vehicle.
You've met with her at different places. Has there ever been a time that you've met Jennifer down there at the end of Outer Drive? Never have been down there. Always has been in a parking lot someplace.
Public area.
She was from the city, Ken. It was better in a public spot. Why would she go down there? How would she even know that existed, Tom?
Don't know that either.
Why would she have told her family tonight that she was going to meet Ken?
I have no idea.
She specifically, they knew.
She called me.
They were expecting her home before anybody contacted them because she was late. But early in the evening, they knew where she went.
I don't know. I mean, she called me. I haven't spoken to her at all today.
She called you and left you a voicemail.
Correct. I returned her call and did not leave her a voicemail.
And she didn't answer.
No.
So her phone will show your call back to her as a missed call.
Should.
It doesn't. It shows an answered call.
Got you, boy. Yeah, look, yeah. It's over with, gang. It's over with. They got you, boy. You might as well go ahead. But like, I did it, put your head by your back, get cuffed up and go, gang. Cause now you just
Don't show as a missed call. You know how phone you go through the phones and there's received and there's sent and there's missed, and your call to her was a received call.
And now, just like that, things aren't going Ken's way. Because while he may have tried his best to stage the scene, there's a few crucial facts he can't fake, like call logs showing he and Jennifer spoke shortly before her death, and the promise of a paternity test that will no doubt prove he was the father.
Why would she have told family that she was going to meet you this evening?
I don't know.
And then the two of you end up down there?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
It's just weird.
She was talking about me.
Okay.
I have no idea why she would say something.
I don't
like
think she named you. Where's your uniform you were wearing when you worked?
that. So, her.
Can we have that before you go?
We have to cover all bases here, Ken, and, and some of that, we'll go back and we gotta look at some things. We just wanna make sure that we don't get any surprises. I mean, you know the deal.
And I think you can understand why some of the questions that I asked them, I just say that some things look a little unusual.
I completely understand that. I guess I don't like feeling like a suspect, but
I mean, you're first on scene at this car where this gal's never been before, that you're aware of, probably has never been before in her life, doesn't even know where it's at. It's not a dispatch call, you just happen upon it because you happen to be in the area and you happen to know her and you happen to be the first one on the scene.
no. Sure. I mean, I get it, guys. I mean,
And there was a period there that, people couldn't get a hold of you. And then we have this situation with the family who knows who you are, knows you as the father of their soon-to-be grandchild.
and I have no idea who her family is.
She's supposed to meet with you tonight.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea why. I don't know why she would have said that. Unless she said, hey, I'm gonna call him. I don't know. I mean, I know she called me.
Yeah, again, it's straight up. They knew she was going to you,
And then
and they knew you by name and occupation and where you worked to be the father, as Jason said, the father of their grandchild.
I have no idea why she would say that.
then we look at this note that you found that's typed. And you know what that means as a former detective. Doesn't mean much, does it?
No.
And it doesn't fit right, especially with how many females you ever know that hang themselves.
I hear you.
And we can't help but think that something went terribly wrong. There was a discussion, there was a conversation, and it just got out of hand for whatever reason. Something was terribly wrong here.
And I can tell you that didn't happen. Something went terribly wrong with her. I was no part of it.
The detectives present their case to Ken, and its strong circumstantial evidence points to only one thing. If he isn't responsible for Jennifer's death, then he knows far more about it than he's letting on. Because while he may claim the two never had a relationship, her family would beg to differ. And while only time will tell if Ken is the father, hiding a potential love child from your spouse is a motive for murder as old as time. And detectives have a lot more evidence to dig through before this thing is over.
Ken, we're gonna have to go through the whole thing. Cell phone records, text records, email accounts, computers. We'll get video from all the places you were patrolling tonight, and that'll help us establish a timeline, which will be good. We'll get the dispatch records and figure out where you were and when. Do you have an AVL in your car?
What the hell's an AVL?
Okay, apparently not.
It's a little thing the chief puts in so he knows, he can always tell where you were and when you were there.
I have no idea what that is.
So, these things, I'm just telling you, and you I'm sure know this, they're not gonna be a surprise to you. Those are things that we gotta do. But again, it comes back to, don't let us get surprised here.
Yeah.
Because
if there's something that we are going to find, it would benefit all three of us here to know that right now. I mean, now is the time to deal with some of those embarrassing things. Now is the time to deal with some of those surprises if we can. Get them
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
What you got is what I got.
She ever talk to you about being abused by anybody? She ever talked about being in a car accident or anything like that? She's got some other injuries, Ken.
Gotcha.
And again, maybe it's just coincidence, but you've got some injuries too that you have no witnesses for.
You're right. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean,
Kevin, the biggest thing is, just tell the truth.
I know.
Regardless of anything else, just tell the truth. I'm sure you've told other people that. Because the truth will always manifest itself in one way or another at some time or another.
That's correct.
Okay, so just make sure there's nothing that we don't need to know now. We're not gonna try and pull all the tricks on you and all that shit. It doesn't do us any good. You know where you're sitting. You know how all this stuff works. So that's a call you're gonna have to make. Okay, we're not gonna try and do Yoda Jedi mind trick bullshit. You know that it'd be foolish for us to, because you're gonna see right through it. You use those same tricks yourself. It's not,
Well, you guys are doing it now, so.
to some degree. It's hard not to. You get in the habit.
Right.
After 20-some years, but I think that should tell you something about us too, in that obviously you can tell that we're pretty uncomfortable about that, because as cops, we're thinking one thing. As police officers, and a guy that, I don't know how much Al's worked with you, but, I met you years ago. Don't really remember you, but I know I never had a bad impression. You certainly don't have a bad reputation around here, around this county, around this city. So, here, a guy like me and Al struggling with this right now, because we're looking at one of our own sitting here. How do you talk to a guy about this? And I'm sure you saw it coming, but.
Well, once I realized I knew her, and okay, bring it on. It's gonna happen, so.
Did you ever tell her that you'd help her financially with the child?
I told her if I could, I would. I knew she was struggling. She's not making a lot at whatever job she was doing. She wasn't making a lot. So, if a friend came to you and asked you, hey, I need some help. That's kind of was the impression that I was getting. Is that, if she needed help, I would help her.
You're willing to help this gal out that you just know from talking to once in a while?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a friend of mine. What do you?
But a friend, it's a close enough friend that you want to help her out with money, but you don't recognize her car or her body laying there in the grass. How'd you feel when you realized who it was?
I about threw up. It made me sick to my stomach. I had to walk away at that point. I was just like, oh my God, this is somebody that I know. And it's not somebody that just because I've worked out here for 14 years that I know, it's somebody that I know personally. You walk into your friend's house and you find your friend, laying on the floor dead of a gunshot. It's one of those, oh my God.
Sure, but I think I would recognize my friend laying on the floor with a gunshot.
Ken's defense, or what little of one he has, is falling apart before our very eyes. Because the more detectives nail him on the details, like why he didn't recognize Jennifer, the less sense his story makes. And while everyone should help their friends, Ken's offer to financially support the mom-to-be doesn't only seem strange, but downright suspicious. But what did Ken's wife think of this allegedly platonic friendship? And what does she think now that Jennifer's been murdered?
What do you think your wife would say about this relationship you've had with Jenny?
She knows.
She knows.
She knows that I talked to her. She knows that we're friends. Obviously there are rules and there are boundaries. She has male friends that she speaks with, and I have female friends that I speak with. It's not like, it's not a secret there. She knows.
Okay.
She knows specifically about Jennifer, or she just knows you got friends?
No, she knows her name.
Oh, okay.
You think this is?
I don't have anything else to think.
What do you think I ought to do here, Ken? What would you do?
Do your job. It's got to be investigated. There's any way around it.
Yeah. And it's just, painting that picture, I'm sure you would agree, shit is just, quite frankly. And it doesn't look real good. So I have to, not just, from the criminal investigation side, but I wanna make sure that you're square too, if that's the case. As long as you tell me the truth, all this stuff will check out and we'll be fine. And it's covering you too, you know that.
Yeah.
But again, man, don't put us in a position where something like this.
Right. Right, I'm with you.
Cause it won't be just us, I mean, it'll be everybody at this department, be everybody in Saginaw area that you work with.
Right.
It'll be smacking them in the face. So it's,
Tell me about it.
I mean, it's shitty enough for anybody, but especially when it's somebody you know.
Yeah. And then, I know it has to happen. Just, sitting here going through this and, feeling like I'm the one, being accused of doing something to her.
Yeah. And I don't wanna go that far to actually say those words. You know that, because
But
it's not comfortable for me.
Right, but it's there.
With all that shit that we just talked about, man, it just things. There's no other way to say it. And it sucks, man. I don't like being in this position.
You and me both.
But I can appreciate that, because I don't know how I would feel if I was in your shoes right now. I feel for you, I do. I lay there in bed tonight going, I cannot sleep.
The idea that one of their own may be responsible for a woman's death clearly weighs heavy on detectives. And while Ken's kept what he knows close to his chest, his options are dwindling fast. So after taking photos of Ken's injuries,
All right, Ken, let's try this again.
he finally admits that the nature of his relationship with Jennifer was far more intimate than just friends.
I can't tell you one thing, guys. I did, in fact, sleep with her.
Now you want to say you slept with her, bro. Bro.
It's a while ago. I can't say that she ever told me that this was her baby, or this baby was mine.
How long ago was it? Was the timing right that it could be?
I don't know. I mean, it was.
So it's our understanding from what we've been told that she's about 8 months pregnant. Puts us back around the first of the year, January-ish.
Guess I never looked at the manual. Yeah, I suppose it could be. I suppose it could be about that time. So, if this baby is mine. Wow. I guess I just didn't come out with it in the beginning because, my wife.
We understand that, Ken. We understand that. I think I told you before, that's a very sensitive situation, and we understand that. And you said earlier that your wife was aware of your friendship with Jennifer. Was she aware of it?
No, she wasn't. Many years ago, I had an affair that we worked through. And, things have been, much better. It was one of those things where it just kind of happened. And as cliche as it sounds, that's kind of what happened. I don't remember,
Where was that?
that was on my first one.
At her house, or?
We met at the park. I don't know. I don't think it did. It didn't seem like it did. Where I moved in. Who knows?
The bigger problem is, big deal you slept with her. Okay. The bigger problem is now,
Don't let me find out she poked a little hole in that motherfucker. Like, hey, she about to trap a nigga out of this bit, gang. She said, hold on. Doot. Put it on now. Oh! Took it off. Man, she popped a hole in that motherfucker on your ass, gang. Shit. Or your ass just put it right back in after you, know what I'm saying, busting or some shit. They ain't give a fuck. Shit, niggas, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
What am I supposed to believe?
No, it looks like I killed her. And all I can tell you is I didn't. And then I didn't.
But again, don't let something come up and bite us, like it just did. Because this was an easy part. You know, that part is uncomfortable. I don't want to say easy, because it was uncomfortable, but it's small potatoes.
You know,
But if there's something else that we need to know, now's the time.
you got it. You know, have I been in her truck? Yep, been in her truck. Told you that. Yeah. Have we had, you know, is it my baby? I don't know. Don't tell me that. From that point on, everything you've got is what happened.
Is there gonna be anything on your uniform, on your clothes, that's gonna mean anything one way or the other in this? Is she gonna have any other unusual injuries that need to be explained?
Al, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Kim, let me see your arm again. You know what that looks like? If I were to grab you with my fingernails, what would I leave? Is there any possibility that her fingernails are gonna have any DNA underneath them?
That's all right, I know. I mean,
Ooh, they get it running by the smallest details, nigga. Boy, hey, look, boy, them DNAs don't be playing, boy. Real shit, you touch a nigga, you know what I'm saying, scratch a nigga. Boy, that DNA gonna be there for a minute, gang. Especially you don't take no back. Oh, boy, got a nigga, boy. Got a nigga, boy. Oh my, got a nigga, boy.
I wasn't there.
Okay, alright. I just, you know, those are marks, that's, you know, they look like they could be finger marks. And you know, that's one of the things that autopsy they're gonna do is scrape all of her nails and check all of that stuff.
Oh, he's scratching his
If we
head.
can, you know, I told you before, my hope is, you and I have now worked together a lot. We've had some association, it's always been good. I hope this association ends up good, I truly do. But we've got to do our job, we've got to do a thorough investigation on this, we've got to answer just as many questions as we can answer about this. And I hope it all ends up good, but we're gonna dot all of the i's and cross all the t's as we go through this, so. Yeah, there's really not much of anything that we can't try real hard to deal with if we know about it up front, if we know about it ahead of time.
I understand.
Like Jason said, the issue about you having slept with her is, in the scope of possibilities here, pretty minor.
It's one of those things that if we get out in front of it, we can make it a non-issue. But if it's something that comes up that shows deception, then it just casts bad light on everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I wasn't truthful. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else we've talked about that you haven't been truthful about? If at some point in this investigation we felt that it was necessary to have you take a polygraph related to some additional issues, would you be willing to do that? What would that show us?
Hopefully I'm telling you the truth.
Did you meet her tonight down at the end of Outer Drive?
Nope.
Did you have a phone conversation with her tonight and agree to meet somewhere?
We attempted to have a full conversation.
Is it possible you are the father of that child?
And I slept with him, so yeah, it's probably possible.
As it turns out, Ken being the father was not only possible, it was a fact, as was the airtight evidence proving he was the one who killed Jennifer Webb. Because not only did cell phone records show multiple calls between the two around the time of her death, Ken's DNA and fingerprints were found on her clothing and vehicle. Kenneth Twyman Blue was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, other charges due to the assault, and felony firearm possession. He was found guilty and given a mandatory sentence of life without parole.
Shit. That's all for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. That's actually some crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, oh my lord. Like, being a cop for 14 plus years ain't like, you goofy, gang. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, your ass deserve to get locked up. Cause you, like, nah, gang. First of all, finger, like, yeah, all that DNA and stuff, the DNA don't lie, gang. You know what I'm saying? Unless, like, your DNA don't lie because, like, scratches, fighting and, like, resistance and everything, to the choke marks, to you having injuries on your body that are kind of new compared, you know what I'm saying? If you see a nigga, you hear a murder happen of some woman, boom, she got strangled or whatever, then you see a man that has some type of injuries and they look like scratch marks, and you would just, come on now, like, yeah, it's over with, gang. It's over with. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned. I'm out.